That's it. We're gonna shut this light off. We're just gonna pretend like we're I didn't even touch the thermostat. It was 68 when I came in. I'm like, I'm not even gonna
78 now. 88 by the time we
88. Right, we might actually need some AC to take the humidity out. That's all right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming. All right, we're actually going to be starting on our backs. So find your way there, and then we'll talk. Last weekend, that's what did it. We fit, what, 35 in here for the yoga teacher training. So now I'm like,
Now you want to
let's
put
do it.
36.
Yeah, 36.
That many teacher training?
No, there's 12, but we had a regular class too.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, 36 in yoga teacher training, I would die. It's a lot of personality.
Mhm.
Oh wow, we have 30 in here right now. I thought we had 25. Snuck in, huh? I realized this morning that I've never capped this class before. So when I looked and it was 24, I was like, 26 is good because I know there's like a give or take and there's some that forget to sign up, and so there we are. We all did it. I'm very, very proud of us.
I remember when I signed up, it was like one spot left.
Oh, did
Like,
it say
Yeah.
that?
Like it's down to like
because
3 or
I
4.
signed up this morning at like 8, whatever.
All right, good. Punch Pass is doing its job.
Yeah.
Good. No, it's not fancy like Mind Body. I refuse to get Mind Body because it's like $700 a month, you guys. Just so you know, right? So I use like the small family, whatever Punch Pass. It's just a small company, but they do an okay job.
Yeah, it works.
We get here. Yeah.
As evidence.
All right. So just taking a couple deep breaths, allowing yourself to be in the space first with one another. There's a lot of energy in a room with all the different people. Just coming into your own space. Your body lying on the mat. I was inspired by one of our students to not be on our wrists as much as possible today. So keeping that in mind, we're gonna give our wrists a little break today. I'm like a wrist happy teacher. I love down dog and basically doing the whole class from down dog. So it's gonna be a little different today. You're just noticing all the meeting points of your body and the mat. As you connect with your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. I have a little poem to read this morning by John Wellwood. And I love the juxtaposition of, I took a screenshot of this poem, and as I'm looking at my pictures, right next to the poem is a picture of Juliet standing naked on the table. Right? So, and then, of course, there's like this meaningful poem right next to it. It's perfect. That's life. It's called A Non-Bypassing Love Poem in honor of fall equinox. I wanted to honor this turning of the seasons with a poem written by the Buddhist psychologist who coined the term spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing, if you don't know what that is, it's when people try to jump from kind of the misery in their life to thinking that they are super happy without doing any of the work in between, right? So this is that in between. And he says, forget about enlightenment. Sit down wherever you are and listen to the wind singing in your veins. Feel the love, the longing, and the fear in your bones. Open your heart to who you are right now, not who you would like to be, not the saint you're striving to become, but the being right here before you, inside you, around you. All of you is holy. You're already more and less than whatever you can know. Breathe out, touch in, let go. Remember, when we're in this space together practicing, we push nothing away. We don't try to block out the thoughts that flow in about our to-do list or feelings that we might be having. We let it flow through and we move through it from that witness consciousness. Maybe you're thinking, well, yoga is a physical practice. And when we're in here, we are doing asana, but every posture is designed to balance the body, the mind, the emotions, and the energy, whether you know it or not. So we begin where we are now with our breath, shifting the nervous system to a more relaxed state. And we're breathing in and out through the nose. So your belly is rising on the inhale and falling on the exhale. Option to place your hands on your belly, your heart, maybe belly and heart. As we deepen the breath, we feel into the lung capacity, clear out the nighttime dust. And we allow ourselves to relax a little more with each exhale. Maybe even to a point where you feel a little tingling in your body, like you didn't even notice there was tension in that one spot. And this is the process of opening to asana. We're already creating space in the body just through the breath and relaxation. Build from the floor up today. For the lower body. A grounding practice. A kind of grounding practice that leaves you feeling light. So we'll take a few more breaths here. See how slow and long you can inhale and exhale for the next 3 breaths. And try on your exhale to draw the navel back toward the spine. And if you're familiar with making that sound in your throat, go for it on the exhale. The sound is like fogging up glass, but with your mouth closed. And notice your breath can elongate even more. And because we're making that shift into witness consciousness, we have a choice of how we want to practice. I know you might have walked in feeling one way. Maybe you don't feel that great today emotionally, physically, but you can still sort of set this intention and choose to practice with gratitude, happiness, or joy. Then the practice itself becomes more meaningful to your body, to your mind, to your energy. When you are ready to move, you can go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. I'm noticing that everybody's blocks are at the end of their mat, so I'm going to walk around and bring it within your reach. Good, and just a gentle hold. Juliet, did you have one? I'm using my sweatshirt. Okay, cool. And you might not have one. So a gentle hold here because we're not warmed up yet, but we're breathing into the belly. So that way when you inhale, you feel your belly press into your thighs. When you exhale, you're able to squeeze your knees in a little bit tighter. Maybe there's some rocking from side to side. And then when you feel ready from here, go ahead and extend your legs straight up toward the sky. And roll your ankles. Maybe you reach your arms up too and you roll your wrists and your ankles. With an inhale, find a big reach up toward the sky, like you're pulling out from the joints. On your exhale, keep everything lifted, but relax your shoulders, relax your hips. We'll do that again. Inhale, stretch and reach. Good, exhale, relax. This time, arms can come down. Keep the legs up. Let's flex the feet. So you're pulling your toes back toward your knees. Good. And then go ahead and point your toes and flex. Good, and point. And arms are down by your sides. Option, tuck your hands under your backside so you have that support. We're going to inhale together, just slightly pointing the toes. On the exhale, slowly lower your legs down to the mat, connecting with the core. We can say hello to the core. We're going to really become friends with it in the next few minutes. Good, let's take a deep breath here. And then planting your feet on the mat. That block is nearby you. You may or may not want to use it. So our feet are hip width. And this time around, we're just walking our feet back toward our hips a little bit. Not way, way back like at the end of class when we do bridge pose. We are coming into bridge pose, but not quite full expression. So we're going to warm up to it. So feet are hip width, we walked back a little bit, arms are down by our sides. We're relaxing our face. We can unclench our jaw now, let the tongue fall in the mouth, relax your eyes. And then when you're ready on an inhale, we're just lifting the hips up toward the sky to whatever point you want, wherever you're comfortable. And we're keeping that tension out of the face, out of the chest, and we're just finding our breath here, breathing into the belly. Now you have your block. If you want to modify, you can always slide the block under your backside and rest on the block. Anytime, because we're going to revisit bridge here a few times today. And the fun thing about using the block, well, I guess even if you're not using one, is you can see how it feels to lift one foot up off the mat. Right, and you'll start to feel whichever leg you lift up, and we're just lifting the foot. We don't even have to extend that leg up toward the sky yet, but you can if you want. Whichever foot or leg you're lifting, you're going to feel that on the opposite side in the lower abdomen. So a little core engagement. And when you're ready to, you can set that foot back down, and we'll do the other side if you went there. These are just options. Take a breath. And go ahead and set it down. Maybe your next inhale lifts you up a little bit higher. And on the exhale, you roll down one vertebrae at a time. We're tucking the tailbone on the way down, so we're lengthening the spine on the mat. And as our feet, our hips come back down, we're gonna rock the knees from side to side. So just twisting out. Maybe we need to do that all going to the same side together. So let's come back to center. Let's inhale. On the exhale, left side first. Rock the knees to the left side. We'll inhale back through center. Exhale, right side. Turn your head to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Head turns right. Inhale, center. Last one. Exhale, right. Head turns left. And we'll inhale back to center. Good. Coming back to center, maybe we can adjust our feet a little bit more. Walk them back toward the hips. Arms are still down by your side. Turn your head slowly from side to side. Let go of tension in the neck and shoulders. You want to be really mindful with this posture. It's very powerful in so many ways, our bridge pose. Maybe your fingertips brush your heels. If it doesn't happen, don't worry about it. It's just somewhere you can intend to go. And then same thing on an inhale, go ahead and lift your hips up toward the sky again. And we're keeping the legs as parallel as we can. But again, we're still not warmed up. So if your knees splay out a little bit here, that's perfectly okay. You just want to check in with your body. Face and chest are relaxed. You're breathing into your belly. And maybe this time around, you see how it feels to come up on your toes while lifting a little bit higher. Inhale when you come up on your toes. On your exhale, melt the heels down, keep the hips up. Good, we'll inhale, come back up on the toes. Maybe you can tiptoe back a little bit, maybe a couple inches. Good, face and neck stay relaxed. On your exhale, release the heels down. Hold here. Maybe for 3 more breaths. Option to lower down whenever you need to. And when you are ready to lower down, we're always rolling down one vertebrae at a time to lengthen out the spine on the mat. Breathing into your belly and just allowing. This is a posture, like many of them, where we surrender to what rises and falls in the moment. It opens up the chakra system, really brings in that balance. So when you are ready to release, we're lowering down. Good, one vertebrae at a time. This time as you lower down, let's draw the knees back into the chest, wrap your arms around your legs. Maybe you find that you can pull in a little bit tighter this time. We inhale, your belly expands out toward the thighs. On your exhale, you draw it in a little bit closer. Good, one more breath like that, waking up digestion. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Extending the legs back up toward the sky. Option to tuck the hands under the back side to support the core, right? If core work is challenging for you, you want to stay supported. So we're just lightly pointing the toes. We're drawing the shoulders down away from the ears back toward the mat. Let's inhale with the legs extended up. On the exhale, we're lowering the legs about halfway down toward the mat. And notice what your abdomen is doing. So if it's kind of tenting up, we want to draw the abdominal muscles back toward the spine and feel that connection with the spine so it's long. Next inhale, legs come back up toward the sky. Good. On your exhale, slowly lower them all the way down. Resting them on the mat. Good. Take a deep breath down there. On your next inhale, lift your left leg back up. Straight up. Good. We're engaging the core. So now we're tucking the tailbone. So we're lengthening the spine on the mat. Let's flex both feet and just see how that feels as we work within the flexibility of our left leg to straighten it out as much as we can. And then relaxing the feet. So see what happens when you flex both feet, the core kind of engages. So you always want to feel that slight engagement. And then go ahead and relax, but maintain your engagement. We're going to start to make some small circles with this left leg clockwise to start. And feel that connection with the core radiating down the leg to the foot. This is one of the most major connections in many of our yoga postures. It's the sole of the foot up to the core. Kind of all the core. This is our stability, our grounding, where we build our energy from in a lot of the postures. The circle's getting bigger and bigger. We're obviously mindful of the space around us. But maybe we're starting to feel a little heat in the abdomen. And we'll change direction. So keep them the size that they just were when it was getting bigger, and then we start to go smaller and smaller. And you might be activating the quadricep, your leg might be getting a little bit warm, slightly uncomfortable. And we'll take it back to center. Inhale, point the toes, feel that reach. On your exhale, flex the foot, reach through the heel like you're trying to point your heel up toward the sky. And now let's bend this left knee in toward the chest and go ahead and wrap your hands around that leg. So you draw it in nice and tight into the abdomen, the left side. Maybe it's even touching on the bottom left ribs. Flex both feet, shoulders down and back. Let's inhale. On the exhale, might come in a little bit closer, and then we're slowly letting it slide over to the left side a few inches. So the knee comes out a little bit wider. Good, hold it there, firm hold, take a breath. Good. Now we're planting the right foot on the mat. So that left knee stays in, the right foot plants on the mat. And we're gonna cross the left ankle over the right knee, right? Opening the hips for pigeon. So we're drawing the right knee in toward the chest. Maybe we're clasping our hands around that right leg, using the left elbow to press the left knee open. Or you could have one hand behind the right leg, one hand on the left knee. So we're coming in with the right knee, we're opening with the left, feet are flexed. A static hold so we can connect with that left hip. Find the breath, breathe into the left hip. We're creating some space there. And then when we bring in movement, we're just moving the lower body from side to side. It's pretty small movement. So when you're ready for that, just the lower body, side to side, small movement, mindful of how that feels. You might even kind of circle it around a little bit so we get into the whole hip joint. If you're circling, reverse the circles so we even everything out. Good, taking it back to center, releasing your right foot down, and then releasing the left foot down. Slide your legs out, stretch it out. If you know you have space over your head, reach your arms over. You can massage your friend's feet, whatever. We'll take a deep breath here. And then arms come back down by our sides as we lift the right leg up toward the sky. Good. And we're gonna flex that right foot, reach through the heel, work to straighten that right leg within your flexibility, make the connection with the core. Then we soften the flex, stay connected to the core, and start to make circles, small circles clockwise, right leg. And those circles grow. And we're staying with our breath, we're aware of the body. All these little intricate things that are happening. These are all intricate muscles that we might not focus on, but they really help to enhance our practice, our standing practice. And then change direction. Start big and get small. Good, taking it back to center. We're flexing both feet again. Now drawing that right knee in toward the chest, clasping around the knee. Draw it in nice and tight. Take a breath. Remember the exhale, we can bring it in a little bit tighter, and then it slides over to the right side a couple inches. Good, hold it there. One more breath, we tighten that hold. And then we're planting the left foot on the mat. crossing right ankle over, recline pigeon here, lifting left knee in, clasping or holding behind the left knee. We press gently, right knee open. Static hold, keep both feet flexed. Connect with the right hip here with the breath. You can imagine you're breathing in and out in that hip, and then the small movement, maybe rocking from side to side, potentially some small circles. If you're circling, then you do both directions. But just keep that connection. Good. When you're ready, we come back to center, planting the left foot, followed by the right foot. Rock your knees from side to side. We'll do that together. Let's inhale. On the exhale, over to the right side first, head turns left. We inhale back through center. Exhale, left side, head turns right. Good. Take it back to center. Walk your feet back towards your hips. One more time with our bridge pose here. Then we're going to come up to a seated position. But arms down by your sides. Maybe now you can brush your fingertips up on the heels. Draw the shoulders down and back. And maybe pull the shoulders back just enough so you feel the heart lift. So we kind of make that connection with where we can go in this posture. Face and neck are relaxed. On an inhale, when you're ready, you lift the hips up toward the sky. So as you lift the hips this time, let's make that connection with the shoulders and the knees, right? Like there's a straight line from the shoulders to your knees, pulling away from one another as you breathe into your belly. Now it seems counterintuitive, but as you hold here, see if you can relax your glutes and rely on your quadriceps. Now options to come up on your toes, walk your feet back a little bit while lifting the hips. All very slow movements, so we can always check in with how our body feels, mindful. And if you're going there at this point, some of you might be ready for this. You can roll the shoulders under, right? So we're kind of lifting the heart, rolling the shoulders under, keeping space between the back of the neck and the mat. Maybe the hands come together under your back, interlocking, like you're trying to draw the palms of the hands together. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Just keep breathing wherever you are. Be in your body with all the sensation that you feel. We ride this wave of sensation. Always option to release. If that sensation becomes too intense, then release and bring your knees into your chest. If you're okay holding here, let's take 3 more breaths. Nice. Can you, if your knees are splayed out, can you very slowly bring them a little bit closer together and feel that extension? Good. When you are ready to release, we're up on the toes this time on an inhale. We're exhaling, releasing the shoulders, rolling down one vertebrae at a time, tucking the tailbone, trying to press as much of the spine on the mat as we can. Good, and then drawing knees into the chest. One more time here, wrap your arms around your legs. Good, a firm hold. We've warmed up enough that we can do a firmer hold. Our digestive system knows what we're doing. Let's inhale, feeling the belly expand. On the exhale, draw the knees in a little bit more. Good, one more, inhale. Exhale, nice and tight, good. And then go ahead and release your feet down. Option to roll onto your side and come up to a seated position, or roll on the spine and come up to a seated position. All right. Where? I don't know. We're here. All right, coming into our easy cross-leg position or half lotus. Half lotus is where one foot comes up on the opposite thigh, if that happens for you. We're sitting up nice and tall, eyes are closed, connecting with breath up here. Drop the chin slightly, find that reach out through the crown of the head. The belly expands on the inhale, empties on the exhale. Going to try 3 deep breaths together. So on your next inhale, belly expands nice and slow. Fill slowly. Halfway through the inhalation, we continue to inhale, but we draw the navel back toward the spine. So now we feel the breath rise up to the chest. If it's comfortable, you can always hold the breath here for as long as you can comfortably without creating any tension. When you're ready to exhale, it's a slow exhale. Chest back down to belly. Once you reach the belly, the bottom of the belly, draw the navel back toward the spine again, so you release. 2 more breaths like that, even if you need a couple of natural breaths in between. Belly expands on the inhale. Halfway through, we draw the navel back, we let it rise. Maybe there's some retention. And release. One more. And after that exhale, we'll extend our legs out in front of us. Just take your heels out to the edges of your mat. So we have a little mini wide leg stretch here. And we're sitting up tall again. So notice how it feels to sit up nice and tall. We'll flex the feet so the legs engage as well. So long spine, you can even feel the core with this, that little engagement when we flex the feet, sit up tall. Let's reach the arms up toward the sky, keeping the shoulders relaxed down. Face the palms toward the front of the room. We're holding here. We're building energy, that grounded yet light energy. Spread your fingers wide. You can even wiggle them. I like to imagine that there's little lasers coming out of my fingertips. So there's like a little laser show on the ceiling. See, if you close your eyes, you can imagine anything. Good. And we're breathing into the belly. So keeping the shoulders down away from the ears on your next inhale, find a little more extension all around. That lift out from the hips. We'll hold for the exhale. Same thing, next inhale, little more extension. This exhale is gonna hinge the hips. We're folding slow, slow. When you get that urge to bring your hands down to your legs for support, then go for it. Bring the hands down. At some point, you're gonna round your back and drop your head. Let this be a slow process and imagine it's happening from the tailbone to the top of your head. So we decompress the spine. We're countering the bridge pose right now. Find your breath here. This is where we really melt in on our exhales. It's okay if your knees are bent. You're always working within your flexibility. So they're as straight as you can get them, your legs, within your flexibility. So there's no force. One more breath here. Really let your head drop on the exhale. Next inhale, let's unfold just as slow. We're inhaling. We start to connect with our flat back at some point, and eventually we can lift the arms forward and up. So we connect with all that strength in the backside, flexing the feet. Let's lift the heart. We're continuing. We haven't stopped moving. Don't stop. And once you feel like you need to stop, that means we're folding again. Exhale, reaching out slow from the tailbone to the top of the head. Maybe we find a little more hinge this time. Hands come down when you need them to. You're dropping fully in. You're moving, moving, moving. When you feel like you're about to stop, that's when we reverse it. We inhale. Start to find that strength. Arms forward and up. Same thing here. Keep moving. Lift the heart. Lift the chin. When you feel the end of this opening, we reverse it. Exhale, slow, folding. Finding a little more extension each time. Slow movement. When you find the end of your fold, we reverse it. We inhale and rise. Good. We're holding here again. Head is straight ahead. Palms toward the front of the room. Relax the shoulders. Find that energizing again. Lengthen through the spine. In and out through the nose. Drop the chin. Feel a little freedom in your neck. You can turn your head from side to side. Next inhale, a little more reach. We're exhaling, hands come together up top here, slowly releasing to heart center, elbows out wide. Relax your feet, firmly press the palms together so you feel your shoulders engaged. Next inhale, we're lifting the arms with the palms together, taking the hands just maybe 1 or 2 inches above the head. When we come up here, let's open the elbows. So you feel this in the shoulders. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Keep that firm pressure in the palms of the hands. Now let's bring the feet back in, flexing the feet. So we have engagement everywhere. Good. And breathe. Maybe look up. Now your hands right above your head. And if they're not, can you get them there without force? Relax through the back of the neck if you're starting to create tension there. Find all this engagement. We'll inhale. On your exhale, relax your feet, lower your hands back to heart center. Good. Now moving slow into a wide leg child's pose. Big toes together, knees out wide. You decide what you want to do with your arms. Maybe they're extended, maybe they're back by your legs. Just find your child's pose so you can ground everything we've done so far. Take your time. You know me, I am a very lengthy child's pose person. And when you're there, you check in with the body, make more adjustments. If your knees feel good, settle back toward the heels a little bit more. See if you can find some length in the spine if you're kind of rounding the back. Even if that means bringing your forehead to a block. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Good. Find your belly breath. Open with the breath here. You might feel that energy rise up the spine, meeting at the third eye, which is connected to the mat or a block. We'll take 2 more breaths here. I know some of you are like, I'm done with those 2 breaths already. So we're just going to lightly interlock the fingers. So if your arms are back, bring them forward, lightly interlock. And we're coming up to forearms and knees, right? Like table, but forearms and knees. Just very gently interlocking the fingers. If you find tension keeps on building in your hands, like you're trying to hold everything in your hands, then put your palms on the mat and don't interlock your fingers. So the elbows are under the shoulders here. That's our alignment. And our knees are about hip width. So we're just going to come into rabbit first. So tuck your toes, round your back. Your head hovers just above the mat. Maybe walk your knees in a tiny bit so you kind of create a little ball with your body. Deep breath. So you always have the option of coming back into this posture. But from here, of course, we're building. So our toes are tucked. We're going to lift the hips up, coming into our dolphin pose. Still on the forearms. We're taking our gaze back toward our knees. So we're looking at our knees. Our head is dropped between the arms. Feel free to pedal your feet. Find some movement here, just like you would in your down dog. It's a little different, obviously a little more strenuous in the shoulders and the upper back. And then there's less space, your hamstrings. You might have to bend your knees a little bit. That's okay. So you find movement. And then after 1 more breath, you come into stillness here. And just be aware of how your body feels. What adjustments can you make? Can you drop your heels down toward the mat? If your feet are out wide, can you bring them together, hip width or closer together? Make sure your head is hovering above the mat. We're not resting on the head. We don't want to put any pressure in the neck. Remember that option to bring the knees down and then come back to meet us when you're ready. Good. Now, you're still checking in. Do you have space to tiptoe forward a little bit while keeping your legs relatively straight? Breathe into your belly. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Good. After that second exhale, knees come down. Option of rabbit. Remember that rounded back, head hovering, or child's pose. Knees together in child's pose. We're taking a few breaths, allowing yourself to reset. Build strength in the shoulders today. leaving the wrists alone. It is possible to do yoga without being on your hands. Good. When you're ready to move, if you're in child's pose, you're coming back up to forearms and knees. If you're in rabbit, you're just lengthening the spine. So we're taking the gaze toward the hands. So we bring our head in line with the spine. On an inhale, let's extend the left leg back behind us. So we're going to work with square hips to start with. So we're flexing the left foot. The toes are pointing down toward the mat. And we're extending out through that heel. So with the hip square, it just means the left hip is in line with the right hip. You lift a little bit from there. So you really feel engagement in that left glute. Good. But our foot is flexed. So we're reaching through that left heel. So there's that energy from that left heel that draws up the leg, the glute, the core. And we're not caving into the shoulders, right? We're pressing into the elbows. The shoulders are strong. We're slightly looking forward. We're breathing. And just when we thought we were having fun, we're going to bend that left leg, press the sole of the foot up toward the sky. We're keeping the foot flexed, like we're trying to walk on the ceiling. Keep the core engaged, and let's find little pulses here within that engagement. So when we lower, we're not losing engagement. And we're breathing. We're not wrinkling up our face or anything, right? We're super happy. Remember, we made that choice to practice in gratitude or happiness or joy. Good, let's hold up high. Inhale. On your exhale, extend that left leg back behind you. Now we're opening the hip. So lift the left hip, and let the toes turn out to the side. We're keeping the shoulders square to the mat. Shoulders are staying strong. If you need to let your head hang, you can. Now we're bending that left leg with the hip open, keeping the core engaged. So a little release in the hip flexor. Good. Feel free to circle that knee a couple times in each direction. After that, we'll inhale, extend the leg back out behind us. On the exhale, knee comes back down. Good. Let's all bring our palms to the mat. And let's drop the head. Just turn your head from side to side. We want to make sure we're releasing tension in the neck, the shoulders. Little cat-cow movement, rolling through the spine a few times. Finding your breath. So option to hang out here and keep moving the spine. For those of you that want to work a little stronger, you can tuck your toes and come back to your dolphin with the palms of your hands on the mat. If you can, aligning your wrists and your elbows. I know tendency is for the hands to come in a little bit, but see if you can align the wrists and the elbows. Good. Back to your dolphin. Maybe you're feeling a little more spacious this time. Let's inhale up to the toes. Option to maybe tiptoe in a little bit more. Good. Exhale. See if you can release your heels down. Nice. Maybe we inhale, lift the left leg up toward the sky. Good. Slow. See where you are. Exhale. Release that leg back down. Inhale. Other leg. Exhale. Release. Good. Inhale back up to your toes. Exhale, knees come down. Awesome. Head in line with the spine. Palms are down. We're aligning the best that we can. Wrists and shoulders. Right leg comes back on an inhale, flexing the foot, reach through the heel. Our hips are square. We're lifting the leg to find engagement in that right glute. Breathing into the belly, shoulders stay strong, bend the right leg, sole the foot up toward the sky, then your little pulses within that engagement. And just keep breathing. Inhale, hold in the full engagement. On your exhale, extend the leg back behind you, keeping the foot flexed. We're inhaling, opening the hip, toes turn out to the side. On your exhale, bend the leg, lifting that knee, opening the hip flexors. Good, maybe you circle a couple times in each direction. And then when you're ready on an inhale, we extend that leg back behind us. On the exhale, knee comes down. Little cat-cow movement, release. Lots of options. We're gonna come into a pretty challenging thing. So just listen to your body. You have lots of variation at this point, so you can stop where you want. And if you need to come up for a couple breaths into a seated position, go for it. Yeah, apparently we all need to. But our wrists are happy, right?
Yeah, our shoulders.
Our
shoulders like really.
Something has to work. All right. So who wants this next thing then?
Oh, we all are dying for this.
All
I
right.
don't know what the next thing is.
Mystery
It's
box.
super fun. I'll show you, okay? So this is obviously optional. So we're gonna come back to our little press here. Then we're gonna tuck so my left leg is up, I'm tucking my right toe, and I'm lifting into dolphin on an inhale. I'm exhaling, lowering down, and then we can switch sides, right? Yeah, it's no big deal. Exhale, lower.
You don't know until you try.
You don't know until you try. And then think about how easy down dog is going to be after all that. Right?
We'll be begging for down dog.
I know. We might even do one. All right. So, yes, go through the process of that bent leg, sole presses up, other foot tucks into the mat. We inhale and lift. Hello, legs. Good. Shoulders stay strong. Exhale, lower. Maybe a couple times on each side. If you're loving it, then 3 times on each side. Beautiful. When you're ready to release from that, child's pose, cat-cow on forearms, cat-cow on hands. Whatever works for you. Find your release process. Right? It's like a full body. My goal is to have you remember me all week.
Yes.
Successful. All right. So if you're feeling like you want a down dog, if you don't mind being on your wrist, come into a down dog. Do your thing there. Right? This is your part of it's all your practice, but here just feel into it. Right? That ease of lift. All right. We have lift off. And the hips are lifting high. How easy is it now to soften the elbows, relax the shoulders? You could stay here all day. So that's why it's kind of neat to switch things up and to engage other parts of your body to make that connection. So when you do come into the more regular practice, it's like, wow, my body's a little different. Good. When you're ready to release, inhale up to your toes. Exhale, lower. Let's thread the needle to release those shoulders. So we're on our hands and knees when we thread the needle. We're going to take our left hand to center. So the left hand is right under our face. On our inhale, we're reaching the right arm out and up. Let's connect with that twist first. On your exhale, take that right arm under the left shoulder, comes down, side of your head. And we're really trying to roll that shoulder under. We want to put compression there because when we open, we want the new blood to flow there. And that will help to alleviate really any soreness. Potentially. If you want, you can inhale the left arm up toward the sky. And you can exhale, tuck it behind your back of the hand and the small of your back. Good. So we have a beautiful twist in the spine here and compression on the shoulder. And breathe. Maybe for one breath without any strain. You might be able to turn your head looking toward the left shoulder so you really emphasize the twist. And then on an inhale, we'll reach the left arm back up. On the exhale, planting that hand. Let's take it nice and slow as we inhale and open the right arm out and up. Connect with that twist. And let's exhale, circle the right arm forward and down. Right hand replaces left hand. When you're ready, inhale, left arm out and up, twist, take it to the very edge, and on your exhale, we'll thread it through. Left shoulder, left side of the head. We tuck it way under. If you're going there on an inhale, right arm comes up. On the exhale, it tucks behind the back. We open the right shoulder. Maybe our head turns in that direction. We breathe into the belly. Allow for that compression. When you're ready, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, plant it down. Slow inhale, open, connect with the twist. Exhale, release. Awesome. Let's come into a seated position. We'll come into our easy cross leg position. Let's take the arms out in front when you get there. Just straight out in front. A little more for the shoulders. We're going to take the right arm over the left into our eagle arms, twisting the best that you can. So relax the shoulders, sit up tall, lift the elbows, inhale. Let's keep the head straight ahead so we're not straining the neck at all. Find your breath here. Next inhale, maybe there's a little more lift. And on the exhale, we're dropping the elbows into the chest, rounding the back, really squeezing the arms like you're trying to pull them apart, but they don't pull apart. And you feel that nice stretch in the upper back. One more breath here. Maybe you come into a deeper fold. See how far you can take this fold with your arms twisted. And on an inhale, we roll up. As we come up, we can untwist the arms and reach it up toward the sky. Relax the shoulders. On your exhale, forward fold. Let your hands come down. Drop into the fold. Round your back. Take a deep breath. Arms stay down as we roll back up to a seated position. Let's draw the shoulders up, back, and down. Arms come back out. Other side, right, left over right. We're twisting. I'm messing myself. I always start with the left side, but today I'm doing right for some reason. Let's inhale, lift the elbows, drop the shoulders. Take a breath. We'll inhale together, maybe a little more lift and lengthen the spine. On your exhale, drop the elbows in, round the back. Let it be that slow process of taking you into a fold. Squeeze the arms together. Feel that connection in the upper back. When you're ready to release, we inhale, roll up, untwist the arms, reach it up. Lift the heart, lift the chin. And we'll exhale, hands to heart center. Closing the eyes. Just lightly, hands together. We're done with our shoulder engagement for today. From here, when you're ready, you can bring yourself onto your back in whatever way you want. We have one more bridge to visit. So once you get there, if you want, you can go into Shavasana now. But if you want that last bridge, plant your feet on the mat. Walking your feet back towards your hips. And you brush your fingertips on your heels. Grab your heels. Not a requirement. All right. We're relaxing the face and the neck. We're unclenching the teeth again, just in case some of that stuff brought some tension. And when you're ready on an inhale, we're lifting the hips. And you're going to where you want. So if maybe you're rolling the shoulders under this time if you did it before, or vice versa. Maybe you did last time and you don't want to do it again this time. You have that block on any setting. You can feel free to tuck it under your backside if you want to feel supported in your bridge. You're taking those arms under, you're really rolling the shoulders under. See if you can interlock fingers, draw the palms together, lifting the heart, lifting the hips. Make that connection, shoulders and knees. Knees are hip width or parallel. Legs. Feel to come up on your toes. Walk the toes back a little bit more if you can continue to lift the hips. Good. Remember, get rid of that little wrinkle between the eyebrows. We're just focused on what we need to focus on. Good. Wherever you are, 3 more breaths into the belly. Of course, when you're ready to release, you'll roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Lengthen the spine on the mat. Really tuck the tailbone. Try to press as much of your spine on the mat as you can. And then knees into chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Very firm holds here. Feet are next to each other, so let's keep the ankles uncrossed. Tight hold. Option to inhale. And on the exhale, lift your head toward your knees. So you really sort of decompress the spine. And then we inhale and release the head back down. If you do that one more time on the exhale, lift your head, bring it toward the knees, inhale. Good. Check in with your body. What else does it need before you start that relaxation process? Maybe a full twist. Again, mindful of your space. Yeah, happy baby. Your chance to let go. And bring you anything, a bolster, a blanket, raise your hand. Bolster. Blanket, yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Our bodies lying on the back. Your breath. However your body prompts you to bring back, bring in some movement. Listen to those prompts. Follow the next 5 breaths. These small movements, and let them lead you onto your right side. Eventually, take your time. Decide to come up to a seated position, go slow, let your head come up last, find that support. And take your time, maybe you want a few more breaths. Your eyes closed, hands at heart center. Our heads down toward our hearts. Honoring, not just honoring the wisdom within, but really doing it. Not just hearing me say those words. Beginning of class today when I talked about doing the practice, choosing gratitude, joy, happiness. It was inspired from, we have a Reiki master group. We meet on every other Saturday and they're learning all about Reiki. And we worked on each other yesterday and at some point in that session, I could hear Thich Nhat Hanh, his voice in my head saying, are you happy when you practice Reiki? Right? Be happy when you practice Reiki. Be happy when you eat. It was like this thing this realization that's what brings everything to life is if we choose to do it in happiness, joy, gratitude. I know that's hard, right? Sometimes life does not always feel that way, but when we get into that space within ourselves where we can feel whatever we're feeling, if it's, grief and all the things that we feel on a daily basis, and know that we can choose to bring in those other qualities that we long for. And then we proceed through our life remembering that and really trying to cultivate the feeling of it in our body. Right? Those are the choices that we have. So when we do anything with gratitude, with happiness, with joy, then that's what gives it life. Now our heads a little deeper to honor the hearts and wisdom of our many, many teachers. All of our experiences that have led us to this moment, and of course our ancestors for the same reason. Please join me in sealing our practice this morning with the sound of Om. And take a deep breath in. Namaste. Is that because you're happy it's over? No.
Yeah, kind of. I feel great.
Once everyone files out.
Yeah, for my children. Yeah, my children have to work. Good. It's good, right? Yeah. I was next to you at an evening class that I never go to before. You. Yeah. I know so that. Yeah. Do they go too? Try, yeah, between everyone's schedule. Yeah, oh, nice. Oh, wow. Right.
Bye. Have a good day. Awesome.
I'll see you again next week. I was wondering. Thanks for getting that. Of course.
It's kind of nice, so, yeah. Bye, have a good one. Thanks, you too. Yeah, it is, definitely. Right. Absolutely, right. It's nice. I like it.